assessment then of how good you think Alexander Usyk is as a heavyweight?
He did his job, Gareth, and that's all I know. He won his fight, good luck to him. There's not much to express, you know. Did I watch the fight? Yes, I did. Was I absolutely wounded that he won? Yes, I was. I was hoping Joshua could win the fight, but he couldn't, and that's none of my business. And one thing that I have learned in my life, and not that I've ever been involved in other people's businesses, but I always keep this nose out of everybody else's business, because it's none of my concern. The only thing I'm bothered about is beating Deontay Wilder.
Once again, those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. You know, he said that, yes, he was wounded. He admitted that, you know, it was a bummer. We heard Frank Warren, you know, leak this news from his latest interview the day after the fight. And, you know, this is Tyson in his own words, you know, but the way he was explaining it, yes, he was explaining it as a quick rundown, but that wasn't the main topic of conversation, you know, but, you know, he said there's nothing to really assess with Alexander Usyk. You know, he was hoping Joshua would win. And, you know, and if anybody has half a brain, they can see how Alexander Usyk came in and stole all the money, messed all the money up in the division, because everybody eventually wanted to fight Joshua, and depending on how good Joshua does, the money pot gets that much bigger. Okay, so if you look at even potential fighters that fight Joshua, you know, the big fight was Joshua Fury, because Joshua Fury, they both had the belts. It wasn't about undefeated anymore because Joshua had already taken an L, but he had got his stripes back. Okay, so he is still the cash cow. Okay, one loss doesn't mean anything, especially when you get it back and you defend and revenge your loss. So everybody wanted to see that. So, but at times I think this is what makes boxing boxing. And we can learn from a lot of things when situations just like this. With Tyson Fury should be wounded. He should be gutted. He did wish that Alexander Usyk didn't win. He did refer to Alexander Usyk beating Anthony Joshua as stealing his retirement check, if you guys can remember. Okay, because that was a huge retirement check, and that would have been one that you could, you know, your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids' kids could live off of, and no one would have to worry about money and especially in that family, for a very long time. So, I can understand, you know, him wounded about that, but if you can tell, this is the same interview that he had about, hey, sticking my nose out of people's business. Now let me counterpunch that for a second. I don't know about that one. Because him saying, oh, I stick my nose out of other people's business, that's bullshit. Okay. You know, Tyson Fury has had everything to say about every fighter that he feels, you know, I mean, especially look at the Andy Ruiz defeat. He, you know, like at times he didn't talk about him. At times he didn't kick a man while he was down. But in the same instance, you know, probably a week later, oh, he's a bum. He got beat by a fat guy. And that's what he used not too long ago to describe Anthony Joshua, besides calling him a bodybuilder, you know. So, I mean, him saying, oh, I don't get in other people's affairs. This is what I think Tyson Fury's doing now. Tyson Fury is he's just trying to focus on his own fight, and he doesn't want to talk too much shit because he knows deep down inside that could happen to him. You know what I mean? So you don't want your mouth to create karma for you in the negative sense, okay? That negative karma, karma is karma. So you say something bad about someone, he's this, he's that, he's a bum, and then we relive the same fight or a similar fight that we had in 2018, and the count, you don't beat the count. So what does that mean? You'll be like a Lennox Lewis. You don't beat the count, right? And you'll lose that fight. Okay, and then, then all the scrutiny will be upon you. And I think Tyson Fury is just trying to avoid that, to keep in safe graces and focus on his own fight so he can be without any type of dirt or any type of ridicule or any type of bad mojo coming into his fight with Deontay Wilder. He wants a clear mind, he wants a clear conscience, and he wants to be 100% focused. Okay, that's what I believe with that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson Fury's comments towards the loss of Anthony Joshua and how he felt briefly about Anthony Joshua losing. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.